I suppose in real life we have to distinguish between those catastrophes we can repair and those that require us to face them in reality. This is one of my favorite quotes from Resilience by Elizabeth Edwards. Okay, think about the first or the most recent struggle that you've been through. And think about what got you through that struggle. Now we all have that friend. Let's call her Nancy. And Nancy always has the attitude of everything will be okay and I will get through this. You wonder how someone can be that optimistic when something tragic has just happened in their life. First in the book, Elizabeth is forced to accept the fact that her son Wade, who is 16-year-old at the time, had died in a car crash. Now, for those of you that haven't lost a child, which is a lot of you that are young like me, just imagine you wake up one day and a parent or sibling or someone you really love has died. Researchers have found that in the midst of like a crisis, such as like a disaster among like a big community, positive thoughts have been a sort of like buffer to depression, and that it'll help you in the long run remain hopeful for more situations that come to you. Another hardship Elizabeth Edwards spoke about in her book is her battle with cancer. Although I've never had cancer, my grandpa, when I was 5, had cancer, and you wouldn't have been able to tell other than the fact that he wore an eye patch on his right eye at all times because the cancer had spread so far into his eye. And even my grandma says that sometimes when he would meet new people, they would never have known that he was sick. And he died when I was about 5. So he had never really dwelled on the fact that he was going to die. He always took advantage of the time he had left with his family and friends. An example of a positive attitude, believing that a positive attitude will just come to you, is in the Pixar movie Up, as many of you have probably seen. It's a movie about a man who loses his wife, and he takes so much time after he lost his wife and is very grumpy and never really shows a smile on his face. But the minute that the positive attitude came to him was the moment that he had hope, that he realized, I can do this with or without her, and she is still with me. It really shows that his hope came when he could find the positivity in the situation that he was given. Okay, now let me give you a challenge. I want you to see the next time something bad happens in your life, like you're dealt with a hard situation that you can't possibly change, I want you to see how long it can take you to find a positive attitude within that situation. I want you to figure out how fast it can take for you to find the good in the situation. Sometimes it takes people more time in order to find hope, and maybe that's the easiest way for you to cope is not being positive and maybe just taking time off from whatever you're dealing with. So, as Elizabeth Edwards makes it clear in her book, Resilience, the easiest way to overcome pitfalls in life is to have a positive, optimistic attitude and remain as resilient as possible.